You know exactly who I'm talking about. That person whose name still makes your heart race. The one who treated you terribly, yet years later you still check their social media. You replay conversations. You wonder if they ever think about you. And here's what makes it worse. You know they were bad for you. Your friends told you. Your therapist told you. Your rational brain says you deserve better. But late at night, when you're alone with your thoughts, you're still there. Still attached. Still hoping for something that will never come. Why can't you just let go? Because here's what nobody tells you. Your inability to let go isn't about them at all. It's about what they represented in the architecture of your self-worth. Until you understand this, you'll keep repeating the same pattern with different faces. Let me show you exactly what's happening in your brain right now. When someone hurts you, and you can't let go, you're not holding on to them. You're holding on to the possibility that if they finally change, finally see your worth, finally give you what you needed, you'll be enough. You're using their validation as proof of your value. And as long as that equation exists, you're trapped, because your self-worth is in the hands of someone who already showed you they can't hold it. This is the uncomfortable truth. Your attachment isn't love, it's unfinished business with yourself. Every time you check if they watched your story or draft the perfect casual text, you're trying to rewrite the narrative where you weren't enough, where you were easy to hurt. Here's what changes everything. You can't let go because letting go feels like agreeing with their assessment of you, like admitting they were right. And that thought feels unbearable. So you keep reaching back for proof you don't need. So you stay attached to someone who hurts you rather than face that feeling, hoping the next notification will finally fix the past. The truth lands softly. You can take your worth back. Let me show you how this loop really works. Pattern 1. The intermittent reinforcement trap. Inconsistent love is more addictive than consistent love. Cold, then warm, disappearing, then returning with perfect words. Your brain doesn't read unreliability. It reads, I need to figure out how to make them stay. Like slot machines, the unpredictability creates a dopamine loop. Every bad moment makes the rare good ones feel priceless. You're not weak for being hooked. You're human, trying to solve the puzzle of how to be loved. Pattern 2. The sunk cost fallacy of the heart. You've invested tears, talks, forgiveness, chances. Walking away feels like wasting it all. But pain already endured is not an investment. It's a cost you've paid. Staying just adds to the bill. You built a future in your head, not a reality. Pattern 3. The trauma bond, masquerading as love. Intensity isn't intimacy. Drama isn't depth. Pain isn't passion. Highs and lows bond your body through stress hormones. Calm feels boring only because chaos rewired you. Real love doesn't require you to question your reality. Chaos is not chemistry, it's dysfunction. If these patterns are hitting hard, if you're thinking, how does this person know me? This is exactly why I create this content every week. We go deep into the patterns that control your relationships and show you how to change them. If you want more insights like this, the kind that make you say, I needed to hear this, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. Now let's keep going. Pattern number 4. The fantasy of retroactive validation. Here's what's really keeping you up at night. You're hoping that if they come back, if they realize what they lost, if they finally treat you the way you deserved from the beginning, then all the pain will have been worth it. You're waiting for them to rewrite the past by changing the ending. But that's not how healing works. Even if they showed up tomorrow with the perfect apology, with the change you've been praying for, it wouldn't erase what happened. It wouldn't give you back the nights you cried yourself to sleep. It wouldn't undo the damage to your self-esteem. You're not really waiting for them. You're waiting for the version of you who wasn't hurt to come back, and that person is gone. Not because you're broken now, but because you've grown. The painful way, yes, but you've grown nonetheless. Pattern number 5, the identity crisis, hiding beneath it all. And this is the deepest pattern, the one underneath everything else. You don't know who you are without the pain of wanting them. Think about how much of your mental energy goes to this person. How many of your thoughts, your journal entries, your conversations with friends circle back to them. How much of your identity has become the person who loved someone who couldn't love them back? Letting go means facing an uncomfortable void. Who are you when you're not analyzing their behavior? When you're not hoping? When you're not the tragic protagonist of this story? You've organized your entire emotional life around this attachment, and stepping away feels like stepping into nothing. But here's the truth. That void is not emptiness. It's space. Space for you to discover who you actually are when you're not performing for someone's approval. So, why does this happen? Why do our brains betray us like this? The answer lies in something psychologists call attachment styles, patterns formed in childhood that determine how we bond with others as adults. When you were young, you learned what love looked like based on your earliest relationships. If love was conditional, if you had to perform, achieve, or suppress your needs to receive affection, your brain encoded a crucial equation: love requires earning. Fast forward to adulthood, and you unconsciously seek out relationships that mirror this pattern. Not because you're broken, but because your brain is trying to master the original wound. It's thinking, if I can get this person to love me consistently, then I've proven I'm enough. I've finally solved the puzzle my parents gave me. This is why you're often attracted to emotionally unavailable people. They feel like home, not a happy home, but a familiar one. And there's neuroscience behind this too. When you're in an inconsistent relationship, your brain releases more dopamine during the good moments than it would in a stable relationship. You're literally getting a bigger high from crumbs than you would from a full meal. Your reward system is hijacked. Add in cortisol from the stress, oxytocin from the physical intimacy, and the occasional adrenaline spike from a fight, and you've got a neurochemical cocktail that's legitimately addictive. Your brain can't tell the difference between love and addiction when the same chemicals are involved. But here's what's really happening at the deepest level. You're not trying to get them to love you. You're trying to get the younger version of yourself, the one who first learned love was conditional, to finally feel safe. Every time they hurt you and you stay, you're unconsciously trying to prove to that child inside you that you can survive rejection and still be okay, that you can earn love through persistence. But that's not healing, that's re-traumatization. Now, let's remove the shame from all of this. You are not weak for struggling to let go. You are not pathetic for still caring about someone who hurt you. You are not stupid for hoping they'd change. You're a human being whose nervous system is doing exactly what it was trained to do. If you learned early that love was something you had to chase, that affection was something you had to earn through suffering, that your needs made you too much, then of course you're attracted to people who confirm that worldview. Of course you stay too long. Of course you forgive too easily. Your attachment patterns aren't character flaws. They're survival strategies that once protected you, but now imprison you. And here's the compassion you need to hear. The reason you can't let go isn't because you love them too much. It's because you haven't learned how to love yourself the way you needed to be loved all along. You're looking for them to give you permission to be enough, to prove you're worthy of consistent care, to show you that you're not as forgettable as you fear. But they can't give you that. No one can. That permission only comes from you. Every day you stay attached to someone who hurt you, you're waiting for external validation of your worth. And every day you wait, you're teaching yourself that your own voice doesn't matter, that your own assessment of your value is insufficient. You deserve to believe in your worth without needing someone who diminished it to validate it. So how do you actually let go? Not the surface level, I'll block them and pretend I'm fine, letting go, but the deep cellular release that frees you. Step 1. Grieve the fantasy, not the reality. Write down 2 lists. First, list who this person actually was, their real behaviors, their actual treatment of you, the patterns that repeated. Then list who you hoped they could be, the version you kept giving chances to, the potential you saw. Look at the gap between those 2 lists. That gap is what you're grieving. Not the real person, but the version that never existed. Let yourself mourn that fantasy. It was a real loss, even though it was never real. You built dreams on that potential. You organized your future around that hope. And now you're releasing it. Not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing reality. And reality, while painful, is the only place healing can happen. Step 2. Redirect the energy you've been spending on them. Here's a practical exercise. For 1 week, every time you want to check their social media, text them, or mentally replay a conversation, write yourself a letter instead. Not about them, about you, about what you need, about what you're feeling, about the person you want to become. Because here's what's happening. All that energy you're directing toward them is energy you're stealing from yourself. You're spending hours analyzing their behavior when you could be understanding your own. You're trying to decode their feelings when you haven't even validated yours. Redirect that obsessive energy toward your own healing. Put the same intensity you brought to understanding them into understanding yourself. Step 3. Build evidence of your worth that isn't tied to them. Your brain needs proof that you're valuable, even when they're not giving you attention. So you have to create that proof. Every day, do one thing that demonstrates you're worth good treatment. Cook yourself a meal you love. Set a boundary with someone. Speak kindly to yourself in the mirror. Show up for a commitment to yourself. These aren't Instagram-worthy self-care moments. They're micro-deposits into your self-worth bank account. Over time, these deposits accumulate until your sense of value doesn't depend on their validation. Step 4. Feel the feeling you've been avoiding. The reason you can't let go is often because letting go means feeling something unbearable. Usually it's one of these: the fear that you're not enough, the grief of time lost, the shame of staying too long, the terror of starting over, the sadness of being alone. You have to feel it to heal it, not drown in it, but acknowledge it, name it, sit with it without trying to fix it or escape it. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Let yourself feel whatever comes up. Cry if you need to. Rage if you need to. Sit in the discomfort. And then, after those 10 minutes, get up and do something that grounds you in the present moment. Because you're teaching your nervous system that you can survive feeling these feelings, that they won't destroy you. Step 5. Rewrite your story about what this relationship meant. Right now, you probably have a story about this relationship. Maybe it's, I wasted years on someone who didn't care. Maybe it's, I'm not enough to make someone stay. Those stories keep you stuck because they make you the victim of circumstances rather than the author of your life. Rewrite the story. What if this relationship was a mirror showing you exactly what you need to heal? What if every painful moment was teaching you what you'll never tolerate again? What if this person wasn't the love of your life, but the catalyst for you finally learning to love yourself? You're not letting go of them. You're letting go of the version of you who believed you had to suffer to be loved. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you haven't thought about them in 3 days. Not because you're forcing yourself not to, not because you're distracting yourself, but because you're genuinely engaged with your own life, because you're interested in your own growth, because the space they used to occupy in your mind is now filled with plans, dreams, connections that actually nourish you. Imagine seeing their name on your phone and feeling nothing. No spike of anxiety, no surge of hope, just a mild acknowledgement that this person exists, but they no longer have access to your emotional center. Imagine trusting yourself enough to recognize red flags early and walk away before you're trauma-bonded. Imagine being so secure in your worth that inconsistent treatment isn't mysterious and alluring. It's just disqualifying. Imagine meeting someone who is steady, consistent, emotionally available. And instead of finding them boring, you recognize it as safety. Instead of creating drama to feel alive, you create depth through vulnerability. This is what changes when you let go. Not just the absence of pain, but the presence of peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing your worth isn't up for debate. From trusting yourself to choose better. From understanding that you were never the problem. You were just solving the wrong equation. You'll look back on this person and feel gratitude. Not because they were good to you, but because they broke you open enough that you finally learned who you are beneath the performance. Beneath the people-pleasing. Beneath the desperate need to be chosen. You chose yourself. And that changed everything. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video, you're actively investing in your own transformation. You've just spent the last 15 minutes doing the deep work that most people avoid their entire lives. Join us as we continue breaking these patterns together. Subscribe to become part of a community that's done performing, done settling, done carrying trauma bonds like their love. We're all here learning to recognize our worth without needing someone who hurt us to validate it. This is where the real work happens. Every week, we're diving into the psychology that shapes our relationships, our choices, our healing. You belong here. Welcome to the journey. Here's your challenge for this week. Write a letter to the person you can't let go of. But don't send it. Pour everything into it. Your rage, your grief, your questions, your truth. Get it all out. Then write a second letter. From your future self, 1 year from now, who has fully let go. Have that version of you explain what changed, what they learned, how they healed. Read that second letter whenever you feel yourself slipping back. And remember this: letting go isn't giving up on love. It's giving up on the belief that you have to suffer for it. You're not losing anything by releasing them. You're gaining yourself back. Subscribe as you commit to this transformation. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And comment which insight hit you hardest. I read everyone. And sometimes your words help someone else who's struggling silently. You're not alone in this. And you're not broken. You're just finally ready to be free. I'll see you next week.